Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me and MTPC into your space today. I had really hoped to be with all of you in person, but I hope that we can be together next year to do something for Pride Month in person. And I also really hope that we can continue this partnership with First Parish Norwell and each of you as we continue to do our important work. My name is Kaden Mohamed, and I am the chair of the steering committee for the Massachusetts Transgender Political Coalition, or MTPC for short. I identify as a person of color and as a transgender man. My own journey to getting to where I am today began in college when I was first introduced to more LGBTQ identified people than I had ever met in my life before, and where I had the fortune of meeting trans people in real life for the first time. It was there that I really began to develop a sense of self and became comfortable expressing my authentic self to others. It was also while I was in college that I began my own journey of getting involved in social justice and activism. I started my transition while I was still living on campus, and I could really see firsthand the lack of knowledge that so many people have about what it means to be a transgender person. And it's been really important to me since then to do my part in advocating for and working alongside my community to make sure that trans people in Massachusetts can live full, healthy, happy, and authentic lives that are free of stigma, hatred, and violence. Founded in 2001, MTPC is an advocacy, education, and community building organization that is dedicated to ending discrimination on the basis of gender identity and expression in the Commonwealth. MTPC provides a consistent voice to key decision makers, including legislators, educators, leaders of organizations and companies, about the lives of transgender youth and adults and their families. And I'm very proud that MTPC is a trans-led and trans-run organization. When I first got involved with the steering committee, MTPC was working diligently to pass a public accommodations bill through the legislature that would provide protection against discrimination on the basis of gender identity and expression in public spaces, including restaurants, parks, hospitals, public transportation, and more. I was really drawn to the work because it felt rare and special to be part of a trans-led organization right here in Massachusetts, but also because I really believed in the importance of and life-saving nature of the public accommodations legislation. MTPC, along with our other coalition members, were able to pass the legislation in the summer of 2016, and we were able to come together again to successfully defend and maintain those protections at the ballot box in 2018 with the Yes on 3 campaign that some of you might remember. Since then, we've shifted our focus to hiring our new executive director, Trey Andre Valentine, and to beginning the process of strategic planning. Now that we have secured these legal protections for trans and gender nonconforming people across the Commonwealth, we see MTPC's role being to ensure that people are also experiencing lived equity. While discrimination might not be legal, it still happens. We want to focus on working with institutions and organizations to change culture, to change internal policies, and to help them really learn what it means to not only be tolerant, but to be accepting and welcoming and supportive to trans people. How do we ensure that a trans person goes to work and aren't experiencing microaggressions or comments or actions that are hostile towards them? How do we make sure that healthcare providers are knowledgeable about how to provide trans competent care to the trans and gender nonconforming community? How do we make sure that trans and gender nonconforming students are getting the support that they need in schools to develop strong senses of self that are free of shame and stigma? Our goal over the next several months is to complete our strategic plan for the next 3 to 5 years, outlining our goals and priorities, as well as our approach to working for lived equity for the trans and gender nonconforming people that live across the Commonwealth. We are always looking for folks to bring us into their communities or organizations to help them better understand trans and gender nonconforming identities and experiences. We meet people and organizations where they are and help them along a journey to becoming more inclusive and celebratory of trans and gender nonconforming individuals and the larger trans community. We are also looking for financial support to help us better serve our community. Many trans and gender nonconforming individuals work in the industries that have been hit hardest by COVID, and many trans and gender nonconforming people live in the communities that are experiencing some of the violence against Black people and people of color that has been highlighted in the news over the past several weeks. As we get closer to finalizing our strategic planning, we're thinking of ways to engage volunteers and looking at the possibility of developing subcommittees to provide more opportunities for people to get involved with MTPC's work. You should always feel free to check out our website, sign up for our listserv, or reach out to our executive director if you're looking to partner with us or to get involved in some other way. Thank you all so much again for inviting me as a representative of MTPC to share some space with you all. My only hope is that we can be together in community with each other next year in person. Thanks again, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.